What up, fam? It's your boy CJ, and I am back. This time, I'm back with my boy Don Digital. How you been, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. I can't complain, man. How you doing?
I'm good, and I got sound effects now. I got sound effects this time, bro.
Okay. There
We
you
back with
go.
sound effects. You know what I
That's how
mean?
you do it. hmm
You know what I'm saying? We elevating the production a little bit.
Bro, you listen, bro. You stepped your game all the way up, bro.
Yo,
I'm
and
impressed.
each I appreciate it, man. Every day it's just about elevation. It's like and in this world of social media, content creation, all the stuff that we got going on, it's like to become the best at it, you really have to kind of like learn and grow. And that's part of the one of the things like when I'm on this journey, I love showing it and showcasing it with other people like on channels like this, like mine and on Instagram. And really it's just about bringing people along the journey because I'm just like everybody else. I like the only way you become an expert is to live it. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. And I like sharing that journey. Just like you're an expert at lead generation and what you do, it's just like we got to live it, and that's one of the things that I love enjoy just sharing the behind the scenes of it.
I agree. I agree, bro. 100.
Bro, I asked you to come on the show today because I want to talk about some game changing social media breaking news, and I
Okay.
don't even know your opinion on it yet, bro. I don't even know. Just so y'all know, I haven't talked to Don about it. I literally reached out to him like 20, 30 minutes ago, right? I was
Yeah.
like, bro, can you jump on here? I want to talk to you about this game changing information because I was like, I want to get your feedback and opinion on it
Okay.
organically. So you down
Yep.
for it?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm definitely curious, bro, because I don't know what you about to ask, but yeah, let's get
All
it.
right, bet. No, it's all good. It's all good. So
Yeah.
let me just go right into it. Let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna change the. Let's see if I can make it where is. All right, boom. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Where we can talk about the first topic, and the first topic is Meta is going to start, and they have already started, um, offering free, ad-free,
Mhm.
experiences on Instagram and Facebook. Ad free, which is like what? It's like what? Like okay. Let's. It's a lot of things to break down around it, right? A lot of things to break down around when we say ad free, because that's a huge way that businesses are pushing themselves out right now. A lot of ways that people are kind of like getting building not only their small businesses but their personal brands and selling
Mhm.
products, et cetera, et cetera. And when I say that to you, when I say all right, this is something they're already testing. They have test groups that are going to charge $14 a month for mobile only, ad free, and then if you want to add desktop, I think it's gonna be $17. And they're already doing this in the UK. What's your first impression when I say that to you?
I think that it's long overdue. Like that's what all streaming platforms are doing and stuff like that. Now, my only thing is, right, say you pay the $14 and you have an ad-free, quote unquote, ad-free Instagram account, right? If if me and you both have the ad-free one, right, and we're
Mhm.
both promoting our businesses, like what's the difference between that and running an ad on the free version, right? Like, because people
Mm.
mainly use social media nowadays to promote their, like you said, to build their business, promote their brand and stuff like that. So if I'm paying for an ad-free one, but people are still promoting their businesses, that's still essentially an ad. It's just not money behind it, right? So I'm just curious to see like what kind of controls or what kind of features they have for that, because regardless if it's ad-free or not, people are still going to use it to build, to promote themselves and to build their business. So I'm just curious to see like how that's going to work with that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
exactly. It's like that. You know what? You brought up a great point. It's like, so even if I pay for this ad free version, guess what CJ is going to do? He's still going to promote Fitness Online University in his
right.
posts. We're still going to talk about Ebony Fit Weekend. We're still going to talk about, what you offer in your webinars, et cetera, et cetera. Like we're still going to talk about it. So yeah, like you're paying for the ad-free experience from Meta. So basically Meta is not going to be forcing these ads to you, basically, right?
Mhm.
But to the whole simple point, like you're saying, it's like Is it gonna now flood all these people are just gonna be flooding the normal content feed with
Mhm.
ads instead of just like so you may be paying for it, but you're still gonna get it, just not in the traditional way, right?
Right, exactly. And then I'm curious to know too, if I paid a 14 bucks, am I gonna get the chronological feedback, right? Like, is it gonna go back to how it was before,
Mm.
where like now, 100% or 90% of my followers are gonna see it now? Which I'm assuming it would have to be that way if I'm paying money, right? It couldn't be where I pay and only 10% is still seeing it. So I think that
Mhm.
would probably be the best benefit from it would be that all of your audience, I mean, I would hope so, that like all of your audience gets to see your content now. So I'm just curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, I see in the audience we got Deb is like, what? She got she got the shock faces up there. Um, a lot of things come to mind when I heard of this, and I was like, okay, couple of things. One, it's something I've preached on, not just the YouTube thing, but for years now to people that will listen. It's like social media, and we even talked about this before. I think the last time you were on here, social media is not going to always be free,
Right.
and it's like we even though we say right now it's not free, it's really not because you have to invest time, money, and effort and to edit the reels and like your time is not free, but essentially you can post and go viral without putting money towards it, right? Essentially you could, but the days of you just saying, hey, oh, forever, this is Instagram is free, TikTok is free. Like I never seen that as the long-term thing.
Mhm.
I've never seen it like there's always another fee coming. There's always a way. Not now that we got billions of people on these apps, it is
Mhm.
ingrained in our lives for like a decade now. You're then now okay, cool. We're just gonna enhance your experience by charging more, and then it's going to be more and more and more. Because think about it, we even talked about it last year when they started charging for badges.
Right.
Like it was just the beginning. It was just the
Mhm.
beginning.
Yeah, nah, you're right, bro. And also to piggyback off of that is like, I don't know if it'll ever be a point where you have to pay. I think there will always be a free version, but with the free version, it's always going to compress like I said, people being able to see your posts, right? Because
Mhm,
that's
mhm,
essentially what the whole platform is for. So going to cater it so that you're kind of forced to, if you're not going to run ads, you're going to boost a post, right? And I saw something, I think it might have been like last week, it was an article about like how they made like, I don't even want to say the number, but I think it was like billions off of just boosted posts, not even just ads, like just people boosting the
mm,
post. So like boosting is becoming a thing now because again, everything is suppressed now. Like less than 10% of your followers are seeing it. So you're kind of forced to spend money with the platform now. So yeah, you might have the free version, but if you're using it to monetize and to grow your brand and your business, you're going to be forced to spend money now because just doing it straight organic is just going to be non-existent at that point. So I think there's always going to be some kind of cost to it. Now, another way around that could be to allow them to track, right? Because when you allow them to track, now you're not so annoyed by ads because now the ads are going to be catered towards what you engage with online. That's the whole purpose of, when you download a new app and ask you, will you want this app to track, yes or no? Most people say no, right? But when you do that, now it's like a guessing game of, okay, what, like there's never a question of, are we going to run ads or not ever in history, right?
yeah,
Now the question is, how do we cater the ads towards each specific user? So if you allow them to track you, it'll make your experience on social media a lot better because now they can cater ads towards you and it'll give you a better experience versus you just seeing a bunch of random ads that you're not even interested in, right? I'm not saying people would do that. I don't think I would do that. But that's why it's there for that reason specifically.
no, you brought up some good points. Like I'm really curious, like you mentioned too, like what are the settings going to be around these? Like how can I enhance my experience through this? But more so than anything, like you said, the chronological order, is that coming back? Right? Is it something at least I can turn on? Is it my choice now?
Right.
I'm going to be paying this money. Can I at least choose to just see? All right, I just want my friends in the order that they posted, not just who you think I want to see. They try to play with the features and try to say, hey, you can just see the feed for who you're following versus who's
Right.
recommended. You can, but nobody really knows. Not
Right.
honestly, most people don't change it. Most people
I
just kind
don't.
of leave it. You don't change it, right?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
change it.
because you feel like you're boxing. Like, okay, now I'm only seeing the people. Like, it's weird. I do want to only see the people that I want to see, like I follow, but I don't just want to see them. I will also
Right.
want to be fed every now and then a different interest or different something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Because if I
Hmm.
just see the people that I follow, then at that point, then I might get a little bored because usually they're posting the same type of things over and over and over, and that's a whole different conversation for another day. People posting the same thing, whereas it
Uh-huh.
gets boring and stale. But
I agree.
and so like when it comes to this, like one of the reasons too I wanted to talk to you about this, like I feel like sometimes there's seasons and stuff, and we have to take advantage of them for what they are. And this is the digital marketing space, social media space. Like what the conversations we're having right now, it couldn't even have existed 12 years ago, 15 years ago, like 20
Yeah.
years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like everything is changing so fast. Right now is no better time than to get into the ads game with Don. Let him
Hmm.
like let's grow, let's scale as fast as we can while doors are wide open before there's more variables in the mix. You know what I mean?
No, 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 absolutely, bro. And I don't know if this is like one of the topics that you're going to touch on, but like Meta, they just announced again that they're going to be removing more interest from the actual ads manager. So they're starting to
Mhm.
lean heavy on their AI that they have. So it'll start making it a lot easier for people to run ads too. So people that are like, man, setting up ads is too confusing, it's too hard. Like, what do I do? Now they're like removing a lot of that heavy lifting. So then you could just go in there, select a few things, publish the ad, and then kind of just rely on the AI to find your ideal customer too. So to your point,
Wow.
bro, like, yeah, it's a great time to hop into ads. And to my point that I just made a couple minutes ago is you're going to be forced to do it anyway. If you're relying on it to build your brand and your business and generate leads and revenue, like it's going to come to a point where like you have no choice. It's either you pay somebody like me to do it for you, or you learn how to do it yourself. Like, but there's going to be no in between.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Anybody ever asked me about ads? I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to be the expert at everything. I always say, my boy Don got you. I was like, he can either teach you and you can learn from him, or he
Mhm.
can do it for you. That's up to you. That's literally what I always push, no matter where I'm at, whether it's Fitness Online University or online. If I go to conferences, yeah, I got my guy. Boom, boom, boom. Just so you
I
know, your
appreciate
names
that.
are in rooms, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Same, man. Like I try to just stay in my lane, bro. You know what I mean? Like ads has been a thing that I've been doing for about 6 years. And like you said, I like to teach it too. You know what I'm saying? Like I I'm a firm believer in it's just something that you have to do. Like I'm not saying you have to be an expert at it, but for your specific niche, your industry, your business, you should at least learn how to generate some leads and stuff like that for yourself. Um, you don't have to be an expert at it, but definitely learn at least the basics and the principles so that you know you can sustain your business. So I appreciate that though, bro.
No, for real, for real. And let me just get to because look, we got a fast paced show because we only got down for a little bit. So I'm gonna get to some other topics real quick too. So
So
and
let's do it.
we can always come to some other ones too later on. But real quick, here's the next one I want to bring up. So, and this is going to what you were just saying there. Instagram is desperate to make you pay to use this platform, and it's testing now a new service to boost your profile if you do so. So basically, if you're going to pay, right, again with the whole verified only, like we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
they're looking at giving it more reach. Right now, you know, the CEO has said at one point, well, right now it's not going to give you more reach, not going to give more reach, but now they're testing potentially the people with the verified paid accounts getting more reach. Like again, it goes to your point even more that it's they're going to find different ways to make it a reason for you to give money to them, I should say.
Nah, not for sure, bro. And honestly, I feel like they should have already rolled that out. Like, if I paid for a badge, like I get it, it's for verification purposes, so people, can't use your profile and scam. But it's like, bro, if I'm paying for this, it has to be more than just that. Like, and to be honest, that's what we all want out of the social media thing. Is like, bro, just let me show my post to everybody. Like, that's what everybody wants. We don't care about like all the other features are cool, But when you run a business or you're trying to promote your brand, like ideally, that's the number one thing that you want is more reach, more eyeballs on your videos, on your photos. So I'm surprised that they didn't roll that out already. Like they're kind of dragging their feet on that.
So I think the reason why is because they wanted to see the initial rush of how many people they can get to just buy into the blue check
Mhm.
of, like, first of all, the blue check is a whole vanity thing that Instagram is all vanity, and it's about I'm important because I have a blue check. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, would I like a blue check? You want a blue check? We all want one, but it's also like, okay, what, how do I get one? I wanted to get one just because of the work I've done. And so
right.
I publish and I put out like articles, and I've written for entrepreneur.com and all the things I've done in the fitness industry. And I submitted all of that to Instagram. And I said, hey, I'm pretty influential in the things that I've done and things I've kind of touched and what I can do. Can I get a blue check? And they deny me every single time. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You got some people who've done way less or
Yeah,
nothing, and they just pay for it, and now they get the blue check and I don't. And I'm just like, this is a whole thing. And it's like, yeah, do I really want to give them 14? Now ask the people who pay for that $14 a month or $12 or whatever it is, if it's worth it to them right now. Most people will probably say, I don't. I know a lot of people who paid for it and they turned it off, bro.
yeah, damn, really? I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see the people that paid the thousands for it, 5 years ago, just to make it a little cool.
Oh, the
How they
underground way
feel
to get
about
those checks.
it. Yeah, I wonder how they
They
feel. Like, damn, I
they,
could have
they
waited.
mad. Yeah, they're like, yo, I paid $5,000 just to kind of go through the back channels to get this check, and now y'all paying $14 a month. Like, man,
Yeah,
they got
yeah, yeah,
pissed.
yeah. Nah, it's crazy, bro. I feel like, yeah, I think it was just one of those things where once it first hit, it was like a topic, and then maybe like 2 months later, nobody really talked about it anymore. But, like like me and you, I know we understand it, but when it first came out, people were arguing and going back and forth about, oh, it's about status and everything. Like to me, it's not really about that. Like when they released what it was supposed to be, kind of like what you just said, to show your post to more people, it makes sense to buy that. Like if you understand how these algorithms and how social media just works in general, like I would pay $14 a month if I know I'm going to get the reach that I'm supposed to get. Like I'm not going to buy it just to look cool and just to have like a status thing. I think that's stupid. But if it comes with these other things that benefit the business, then $14 a month is pennies compared to like the benefit that you get from it.
Right, right. And so, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, as we go forward, what other things they're trying to like push out there. But in general, man, I would say this. The last thing I'll say on this part, I understand the importance of security, and I get that is
Mhm.
probably the biggest thing that are security of my account. So let's say if my account gets shut down or spammed or whatever, and I want to get it back up as soon as possible. I want to get it back in my control as possible. The access to their support team, the people who pay the $14,
Mhm.
is what I would be paying for. It's kind of like paying for insurance, right? Insurance in
Oh,
case your car breaks down or something like that. That would be my biggest selling point, which I think they're missing. Because for
mhm.
creators, for business people like you, if you present it to us differently, not as a blue check, but as someone and say, hey, you know what, Don, you're making so many X thousands of dollars out of this platform a month. You have
Mhm.
insurance on everything else in your business and your life and all this, boom, boom, boom. This is your insurance for your page. It's
That's a good
presented
point.
differently. It's
Yeah.
presented differently, and the value to you is higher at that point. The way it's even when I say it to you like that.
No, that's a good point because at the end of the day, it's an asset like your YouTube channel, your Instagram, like all of these platforms that you use to promote your business, the ones that you're monetizing from. It would suck to run up your Instagram page to a couple 100,000 followers and you making whatever 20, 30, 50,000 a month, and then they just take it away. Like literally, bro, it's like cutting your water off. So it's like to your point, I didn't think about it like that, but that's a great point. It's like just like you got insurance on your car and everything, if you're monetizing it, then yeah, you definitely should spend a couple dollars a month to make sure that you're protected and to eliminate any risk of losing it. You know what I mean? So that's a very good point.
That's why they call me the professor. They call me the professor. I'm like somebody. I was saying, I was like, hey, what's up, bro? I was like, congratulations on something the other day. They're like, thank you, my genius. I was like, oh man, you calling me a genius? I appreciate that.
Yeah, bro, that's
But
a good point. Yep.
Nah, that's okay, cool. Let's go to the next one real quick. And that
Yep.
is this is interesting. Meta is now testing cross posting between Facebook and Threads. And Threads, as we know, was fast growing app last year. It grew super fast. It was like, oh man, Twitter's in trouble, or now, Twitter's now called X, they're in trouble. Boom, boom. Here comes Threads. I'm gonna ask you two things on this.
Okay.
One, do you use Threads consistently? And two, what do you think about Meta? Now testing this cross posting between Facebook and Threads. Do you feel like they're gonna kind of like force feed us Threads more this year?
Yeah, so for your first question, nah, I don't use Threads, bro. When it first came out, I played around and I might have posted maybe like 5 or 6 times on Threads, to be honest. I think it's dope, but it's like we got Twitter already, and it's gonna be kind of hard to compete with that. I mean, like Twitter is a staple, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of hard to compete with that. So nah, I never really used it like that. I could kind of see the benefits of it, but I haven't used it like that. But and for your second question, why I think they're doing that, or if I think they're going to force feed it, I just think kind of like to your point, bro. I think Threads is just something that they're struggling with. It was one of those ideas that didn't really pop like they thought it would. Facebook right now, believe it or not, is kind of picking up as far as like organic reach and stuff like that. So I see a lot of people that post on Facebook and they get a lot of traction from it. So I just think they're going to try to bring a different demographic to Threads as well, because like it's a whole other demographic on Facebook as well that probably never even heard of Threads or isn't even on it. So to me, honestly, bro, I think this is Instagram or Meta. You know, it's all the same thing. I think it's like their last shot at trying to push Threads. Like, and I think if this doesn't work, I think they might pull the plug on it, to be honest. Or unless they try to figure out if that doesn't work, I think maybe the very last thing would be trying to get people to monetize Threads, right? Because like whenever there's money on a platform to be made, people are going to gravitate towards it. So if this doesn't work, I think the very last shot would be being able to monetize from Threads. I don't know if you can already or not, but I think that might be the last shot of Threads if you could make money from it some kind of way. But I do see Threads pop up on my timeline sometimes when I scroll. I see people posting. So clearly, it's people that post on it still, but I don't think it really gained the traction that they thought it would. So I think this is like their last shot of trying to really get a different demographic on there to kind of make it pop.
Yo, it's interesting you said that because I would say this, when it comes to man, actually let me take that in a little bit. You said it's like their last chance. It's kind of like you feel like, damn, this shit might be dead if it don't hit this time. Like this might be it. And I feel like when it first hit, it's something new, exciting from Instagram, and we already trust Instagram, we trust Meta, so we all jumped on it super fast. But now I need to see, I would say, a faster evolution of the app.
Right.
Because for me, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I love Twitter, and still take Twitter because this whole X thing is still stupid to me. Like I get it. I was like, because if I say X, 80% of the people don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So
It just doesn't sound as smooth as Twitter. Like, let's just be real. You know?
bro, and it's just what it is. And then like even if you Google something and you're like X, it doesn't come up right. It just doesn't. Like
Yeah.
X account for da 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 da. It's like either some adult stuff or it's just something totally off because it's the letter X and it's not linked to,
Right.
what I'm saying? It's a letter. It's not all right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me digress. But my point is like with the whole Twitter thing, I love Twitter and it's becoming like this whole all-in platform. Elon is making an all-in platform. They
Mhm.
have not only the conversations that we normally want to have and just read, because it's really the app where you just really read the most, or really think about it. There's no other
Exactly.
app where you read like that except
Yeah.
for maybe Reddit.
It's the newspaper,
It's a
ideally. Yeah.
newspaper, and you
Hmm.
get quick information, quick conversations, but now you have video. You also have live. Right now, we're streaming live on YouTube, but we're also live on X. Also, they have audio rooms, so it's like an integration of what they have from a Clubhouse. You can do
Hmm.
that on there. You can do that. It's Twitter Spaces. All these different things. It's like he's making it where now articles can be posted on there. all in your
That's good.
profile. Like it's so much there, and I love Twitter,
Yeah.
and like it's one of those things that I'm always on. But I'm also not surprised at how they monetize it the same way. Where they're the first ones who started with the paid verification
Yeah,
thing.
they are. Yep.
I feel like they're a little bit behind. Like Elon is crazy, but it's kind of like these crazy geniuses. You kind of force the industry in a certain direction, and
Yeah.
I think he's making it where like if you don't have everything like Twitter does or X in this case, if you don't have everything, then you're falling behind. So Instagram, you know what they do? They let everybody put new features out and then they copy. They put
Yeah.
new features out and then they copy.
Yep. Yep.
So
No, I agree.
in that case, I would just say, Threads feels like it did when it first started. I don't feel like it evolved to
Yeah.
me.
I
So they
agree
got moved past
because
it.
we already have a version of that, which is Twitter. It's like it's one of those things where it's like you can't really. It's like you either got to be the first or you got to be the best, right? And sometimes it's hard to be the best if you're not first. If that makes sense. Like Twitter was the
Mm,
first version of, like you said, like it's like literally the app that you read the most on, and it's been out since like what 2005 or something like that. So it's like it has such a loyal base already. So to kind of create something that's similar to that, it's going to be hard. Like again, you would have to be better than Twitter to do that, and it's like, how do you beat that already? Like they're number one and they're already the best. So I don't really know what the whole play behind that was. Like I would hope that Instagram or Zuckerberg wasn't trying to like compete with Twitter in that sense, because I mean we saw it with Snapchat and it worked a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when they took the stories and they brought it from Snapchat, like that worked. But Snapchat was a newer platform at the time. It wasn't somebody like a Twitter that's been around for over a decade and has billions of users and stuff like that. So it was easy for them to take that idea and bring it over. And plus, it fits their model. Like Instagram is a visual platform, so stories it fits that. But like if I'm on IG and I'm used to looking at photos and videos, why would I want to go over to Threads where it's the complete opposite when I already have a Twitter? Like you're not
right.
gonna get your Twitter for Threads. Like that would be crazy.
Nah. And then at some point too, there's a the whole conversation of how many apps do you want to have on your phone.
That too.
It's like too many apps. It's like, yo, Instagram is close enough to Threads where I was like, I'm good with just Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, Threads is there too. But do I really? How many places can I like right now? I'm using apps like StreamYard to broadcast in like 4 or 5 different places at once. And some point, it's like, yo, it's only so like the average person is not going to do like me, which is extreme. Because as a full time content creator, to be able to put stuff out, invest in putting stuff out in different places, hiring somebody to
Mhm.
help you post all this stuff, the average person is not going to do that. They're gonna
Fact.
like lock in with what it is. So this is
Fact.
I know we're running short on time, but I'm gonna go to the next one real quick because there's a couple
Nah,
more
do your
things I want
thing,
to run
man.
through with you real quick.
Yeah, take your
Uh
time.
Instagram is testing new limits on how many hashtags you can post.
Mm,
Now, this links to the whole thing with threads we were just talking about because
mhm,
threads only allows you to use so many hashtags. And if you
mhm,
notice, YouTube Shorts only allows you like so many hashtags. And so, like, it's the thing that's becoming more limiting on hashtags. So, the whole point of it is now you need to lock in on your very specific niche. Because before,
mhm.
people would just post like 20, 30 hashtags, up to 30
Yeah.
on Instagram, too
Yep.
many. So, what I get from it is you need to really start dialing in on your niche. And even though it's not limited right now, they're already testing it. So, that means, guess what? It's going to happen. It's going
Nah,
to roll out eventually, right?
yeah, nah, for sure, bro. And it goes back to the whole thing we talked about in the beginning is suppressing everything. My whole opinion, bro, like the future of social media is gonna hit that crossroad of like social media and artificial intelligence. That's my opinion, right? I think that they're going to eliminate all these other features and limit and suppress it so that they'll have AI be able to control what people see, how to pick to create a better experience, right? Like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, like all of these platforms, they want you to stay on the platform for as long as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Like they would like if they could have it where you were on there 24 hours a day, believe me, that's what they would want. So all of these updates and things like that is because they want more people to stay on the app, right? So as frustrating as it is, you're going to be on the app longer because now you're trying to figure out what's the new hack. How do these things work, right? Which forces you to stay on the app longer. The second thing is it forces you to get creative with the content. This is what I
Mhm.
tell my clients all the time when it comes to ads, right? It's only two things, really. It's either you can outspend your competition, right? Let's
Mm.
say like you're like, oh, I don't want to create content, like I'm not a content creator, whatever. I don't want to do it. Okay, cool. If that's the case, then you have to be able to outspend your competition because now your cost per leads go up, like your CPMs go up, everything goes up because the content isn't good. On the flip side of that, if it's like, yo, I'm on a tight budget, I can't outspend the competition, then you have to be really good at content. Because if you're really good at content, the algorithm is going to feed to that and it's going to blast it out to your ideal customer. So it's the same thing with organic and all of these things, right? It's going to get rid of the hashtag, right? It might seem like, oh, it's harder to do now because I have limited hashtags. Same thing with Meta, right? They with the ads, they remove a lot of the interest. For the past, I would say, decade, people relied a lot on interest because it made it easier for your business to get in front of people, which means your content really didn't have to be that good because with certain interests, depending on what your budget is, you're going to land in front of that person, whether your content is good or not, right? When they remove the interest and they want you to rely strictly on the algorithm and the AI and stuff like that, now you really have to be content heavy. Because what happens is when you have good content, people click on it, people share it, people comment on it. All that stuff feeds the algorithm, and now it knows, okay, CJ has this video, it seems to be doing well, so now we're gonna boost it out there for free for him because he did us a favor by creating something that people enjoy, in which in return or as a result kept people on the app longer. So the people that
Mm.
create the good content, they're always going to be rewarded by getting more views, more reach, because you're going to keep people on the app. You know what I mean? Like if you have 90-second reels, right, and all of them are bangers, like imagine if somebody watched 10 of those in a row, 10 90-second reels, right? And that's just from your page. And then they go to somebody else. Before they look up, it's 3 hours that went by and they've been scrolling, right?
That's their goal. That's their goal.
Your goal. So that's what I think. Like that's going to be the future in the next maybe like 3 to 5 years. Like it might not be any hashtags. It might literally be you have to make dope content, and that's it.
He's on fire!
Like I got nothing else to add to that. You heard it from Don right there. He just dropped it on you. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so real quick, let me just show you what we got going on in the comment section because I'm looking here at, so remember we're streaming on multiple places, so this is how it looks on Instagram. And so we
Okay.
got some people in here saying, hold on, shout me out. I don't know who you are, but okay, shout you out. You see, you're on the screen now. I love your work, please. Is and he my guy Casey said, is this Facebook for old people? Isn't Facebook for old people? Threads feel like it's for old people Twitter. Wow. Wow. Also, wait a second. So, two things. Facebook, answer this, is Facebook, because we're going to answer the Twitter thing in a second, but he said, is Facebook for old people? What's your opinion on that, Don?
I don't think Facebook is for old people, but I do think like the way I look at it is, I think everybody. I think Facebook is more so for. I kind of compare it to Twitter in a sense where it's like a community type of thing, right? Like I'm not necessarily on Facebook like that, but when I do get on, I still see people that I went to high school with, like they're active on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side of that, if we look at a platform like Instagram, it's not that many older people on Instagram, right? I just think Facebook is pretty much for everyone, and all the other platforms are specific to certain demographics. If that makes sense. So I don't think it's necessarily for old people, but I think the other platforms that we're used to, like whoever said that comment, probably doesn't have Facebook, right? Because they might be a younger demographic, so they're attracted to the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Snapchats, right?
He's a
And you have
YouTuber.
and yeah, and YouTube. So I think Facebook is for everybody, but I think all the other platforms are the ones that are like for younger demographics, except for TikTok. I had a conversation maybe like a couple weeks ago. Like don't be surprised, yo. There's a lot of middle-aged people on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like my mom loves TikTok. She's always buying stuff on TikTok. It's like, Mom, stop clicking on ads and buying stuff. I literally had this conversation with her like not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like I got aunts that are on TikTok. Like my girlfriend's mom, like all of these between the age of like 45 to like 60, they love TikTok. But you would think that TikTok was for younger people, right? So I just think Facebook is for everybody, but these other platforms I feel like are more catered towards the younger people because it's based on short form video. The attention span is a lot shorter. You know, Facebook is different. Like you can post 30-minute videos on Facebook and people will watch them. Like, so that's just my
Yeah.
take.
Yeah, he said true on that. He was, I know he's in the screen. He says true. So, and by the way, just to shout out a whole side note, like this is why I love, and this is a whole separate side note from the conversation. This is why I love YouTube because we're live on YouTube, but I'm screaming and showing you the comments from Instagram.
That's fire,
Like,
bro. Yeah, I'm over here looking like, dang.
you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, this
this
is
would be
fire, bro.
so difficult for me to do within the Instagram app, but when you broadcast like on a platform like StreamYard or Ecamm or something
Mhm.
like that, and you're doing them from your desktop, like I can integrate and do so many different things with so many different platforms at once. We had somebody from Discord the other day, bro. Discord chime in. We had somebody from Twitch,
That's
Twitch TV.
crazy.
Somebody was like, "Hey, I'm watching you on Twitch." That's people think it's just for video games. No, there's live podcasts and shows on Twitch.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy, bro.
and I would say this too. The second point of Casey's question was just like, I feel like Threads feels like old people Twitter. I mean, it's always gonna feel like old people Twitter because they'll never offer what Twitter offers, right? X
Yeah.
offers everything. A lot of things,
So,
some I don't know if I have the sound that I need for what it has, but it got the adult content. I'm gonna leave it like that, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like
He's
that.
on fire.
I'm gonna leave it like that. They got that adult content, and when you want to talk about billions of dollars of industry that these other social media platforms will have, they have that. So
yeah.
it will always, I don't, it's not going anywhere. And it's not like people, that's one of those things people don't talk about. They're like, oh, well, Elon is going to not, Twitter is going to, it's turning the X and it's going to fall. It's going to fall. No, it ain't. Because
Yeah.
all y'all on there at X at night. And we know what's going on. So it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going
Nah,
nowhere.
that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. It's so crazy that it's almost 20 years old. Like you'll have people that are like in high school that like were born after Twitter was. That's so crazy when you think about it.
Mhm.
Like it's yeah, bro. It's gonna be here for a while because like 10 years ago, people were probably thinking it was just a fad. Like, this is just social media. It's not gonna be here. Like people. I mean, I don't know if we're past that phase yet where people think that social media is just like this fad where it's like, like it's not gonna be here. Like, I feel like this stuff is gonna be here, bro, for
That's
forever
a
and
whole
ever.
different topic too. As far as like corporations not investing like they should
Right.
into content creators, social media, and ads. Like they are
Yeah.
so behind the eight ball. It's so many
Exactly.
companies that are missing the eight ball, and we're specifically, talking about like small businesses, people
Mhm.
that are coming up that definitely missed the eight ball. But that's who we work with primarily. But when you get into like the bigger corporations too, they're missing it. I would just say I got two more things we're going to talk about before
Not for
we
sure.
really wrap
Question
up.
for you, bro. Before you go on to that,
Yeah,
you
what's
said
up?
about everything like how it streams to different platforms. Like, so
Mhm.
I know it's too late for this now, but would I be able to share this on my live? Like, will we be on live together, or is it like it would just be on your live? Like, can you connect it with other people and have it stream from both? Like how you would on IG Live, how it would show up on my feed and yours. Like, can you do
Mm-hmm.
that with this too?
Mm-hmm. I would
Dang,
just need a
that's
stream
crazy.
key from I would need a stream key from your Instagram and we
Okay.
can load it in. And so I don't know if I'll even I'm actually just show you a little bit of behind the scenes. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna show you something
Oh, that's dope,
if
bro.
it will allow me to share my screen like I want. Like sometimes you don't even know what you can do until you try.
Okay.
So do you see my screen right now? So it looks like a lot of like
Yeah.
windows, like a matrix. But
Mm-hmm.
look at the top right. So the top right is what you need to focus on. So these are different
Okay.
accounts. I can have up to 5 things we're streaming. This is YouTube.
Okay.
This is this I'm sorry, this is Twitch. This is X, which is Twitter, and this is Instagram.
Okay.
Each of these are different accounts. So if I added another account here, I would just have to have a stream key from that particular account to add in. And so this is being streamed to all of those, and all the different logins are in there at once. So that's kind of how that works.
Nah, that's fire, bro. Yeah, like I said, I need the full tutorial, bro. One of
Oh
these days.
yeah, I got you on that. I got
Mhm.
you. Let's see, two more things real quick, and one of them is interesting because I've been telling people, I don't know how many times I've tell people, it's like, you gotta tune into the show because you're gonna see and catch gems. Like, I've been telling people about Carousel Post, and I don't know if you've noticed, Carousel Posts are like picking up like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like being pushed to the front of the algorithm, just like Reels. And honestly, you go to the Explorer page, right in the middle, there is now like these carousels. And so to that thing, and like focusing on that still, now Instagram is testing carousel posts within the Reel stream. So within the Reel stream, within Reels, carousel posts are being tested. So
That's
I mean,
dope.
it's one of those things like, man, it's not going anywhere. You need it. And there's a couple things when I talk about carousel posts that people are missing. One, it requires you to be more thoughtful with your content as far as storytelling, because we've always talked about storytelling and hooking people in and then getting them to do the end result, the call to action at the end or something like that, depending on what you're trying to do. But with carousels, like, you really kind of have to, like, every single slide has to have some type of like hook or some type of what do you call it, some type of ending that there's this like that makes them want to slide to the next one. Because if you leave them on a dead spot, they're not gonna keep swiping. Like, why do I want to swipe through 10 slides of yours? It really has to be good value.
You have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, have you been, how are you with carousels, or is it something you haven't touched before? Is it something you've seen more? What is your opinion on them?
Nah, you hit it right on the money, bro. And also, like, it's really a science behind it. You see it a lot more too with the I know what do you call it, like theme pages, faceless pages, or whatever. You see that a lot with them. But that very first what do you call it, like a slide, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of it, that's like the attention grabber right there, right? Like, before it used to be videos, right? But now it's like some type of like newspaper article style.
It's almost like a flyer, like a static headline.
Like 17-year-old makes $27 billion.
A newspaper cover, like you will.
Exactly. And then it forces you to want to go. And like you said, I love what you just said, man, because it really does force you to be intentional about what you're posting now. Because if you do have 10 slides, like, the overall goal is to get that person to that 10th slide. So every single slide has to be intentional. And I like how it doesn't always even have to be a video. It could literally just be a story, like you said, or, 10 ways on how to fix your credit, 5 things to avoid when buying a new car, right? Anything. But each one has to be intentional. Like, you can't just throw some BS up there and think that people are gonna tune in and stay engaged with it. So, no, I love it, bro. I really like carousels, honestly. Like, I think that's one of those things that are like really, really slept on.
It's forcing people, and the reason why I think they're leaning into it is because even with the trigger happy people that everybody is with up and down, this is the thing that forces you to go left or right and stay there longer.
To keep you on.
And the longer I stay on your content, and the more I'm going to stay on other people's. And so again, whether now instead of me spending 60 minutes a day on Instagram, now I'm on there an hour and 15 minutes, because I have to spend longer to go through the content, but I've only still went through the same number of people that I normally would go through.
Exactly, bro.
So it's holding you there long. And honestly, as a content creator, I like it because it holds you there. And then my goal is too, like, my goal is not trying to keep you on Instagram. My goal is to keep you on my feed, to keep like to watch my stuff for as long as I possibly can. And so that's kind of the thing, like, it holds you there too. But again, carousel's not going anywhere, and the fact that they're testing them in Reels,
that's going to be dope on the Reels. And also, one last thing about that too is, as a brand, it forces people to remember who you are now, because like you said, so many people are just trigger happy, used to scrolling, but now if you spend that much time on somebody's carousel, Now you might be intrigued. And you might go to their page now. You might scroll through their feed, right? Or just the fact that they stayed on there and swiped through and actually read or watched the videos. Now they're more familiar with your face, with your branding, right? And because you spent time on it, you're gonna pop up on their feed again, right? That's what I mean about like the AI and the
Come
algorithms.
on,
It's
man.
not even about clicks anymore. Like it's about the amount of time somebody spends on a video or on your post. Now, if they go to your actual page, they don't even have to like anything at all. If they just land on your page, now that feeds the algorithm. Like all of these things are to boost your brand, number one, and to also keep you on the app.
And
So I
I'm
love it.
glad you said that. What you just said there just triggered me because it's one of the things I've mentioned before. But I think people, this is probably, if you ask me, what is the most underutilized feature of Instagram, I would have told you carousels. I would have told you that a long time ago. And I've been saying it before. Is like the reason why it's like the ultimate game changer and the ultimate way to post is because it's the only type of post that will show up in somebody's feed multiple times, even if they've
Mm-hmm.
engaged with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yup.
you do a carousel with 10 slides, and I like it, and I only make it to slide 3, and I keep scrolling. The next time I log into Instagram, it will
Yup.
still potentially show me slide 5.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only post like that.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And to piggyback off of that, it all goes back to the advertising, like the Facebook Pixel, right? Ever since the Pixel
Mm.
had that issue, I think it was back in maybe like 2020, 2021, when that whole tracking thing, the whole war between Meta and Apple, it forced Meta to get creative, right? Because now it's like, okay, Apple is limiting the way that we can track people, so we have to find other ways to track people on the app. So now, like all these are touch points. So, like I said, somebody doesn't even have to like, comment, or share. If they just land on your profile, it can now be tracked. You know what I mean? Like, so all of these things are to help you, the business owner, the user, the brand, whatever, with getting back in front of people and promoting yourself and keeping eyeballs on it. So these are all solutions, I guess, to that Facebook Pixel problem.
He's on fire!
Hey, look, you're
Yo,
on fire. The people in the chat saying Don Digital, they excited, dropping fires for you, brother. Uh-oh, did we lose Don? Man, he dropped gems and then he fell off. What happened? What happened? All right, we're to give him a second to come back on, get his audio back. But if you guys are just tuning in, what we were talking about is we're talking about Instagram testing carousel posts within Reels stream. So carousel posts, one of the most popular ways to build your brand, build your content right now. And we're gonna give Don just a few seconds here to come back on. Let me answer a few questions. Let's see. We got Don back too. Let me get him back on the screen. All right,
bro,
cool. So,
I don't know what
hold
happened,
on, hold
bro.
on. You don't know what happened? What happened, man? Like you
Yeah,
got
I
all the
don't even
love and then
know.
you fell off.
Bro, I don't know. Some weird error popped up on my screen, bro. I don't know. Maybe it was getting too saucy, bro. I don't know what happened. I never saw that before, but
By the way, so Casey on Instagram said y'all are killing it, both of you. We appreciate it, bro. We appreciate that. Kiki said Don Digital's fire as always. And Don is froze up again. I don't know what he got going on. Don must be on that AT&T. Y'all know AT&T tripping today. I don't know if y'all know it now, but AT&T is going crazy today with the outage and stuff like that. But let me just keep on going. Yeah, Kiki does have that effect with the Wi-Fi. Look, he's frozen right now on the screen. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, Kiki has an effect with the Wi-Fi. Um, let's see. Najee says, I noticed that too about carousels too, CJ. They show up multiple times in the feed. Yes, it is literally one of the only ways to show up multiple times in the feed with the same piece of content. So, like I was saying, it's like I've been saying it before for the people watching the show, and they don't watch the show. Tell them they should watch the show because I'm like, especially in the fitness industry, I know you guys like Najee, Kiki, you guys notice that there's so many fitness professionals now that are using slides, and it's not like carousels are new, but it is trending right now where the biggest influencers are all doing it, and it's like every day. It's not a in their content mix, they're using it even over reels. So they'll have like all these workouts and they'll put it slide by slide by slide. And the whole point is of them trying to give away the workout is them getting people to save. And again, like with reels, like I'm sorry, with carousels, like I said, it's the only one that will show up in your feed multiple times, even if you've engaged with it. So if you're not using carousels, start. I'm not saying don't use reels. I'm just saying that you want to put that into your content mix for sure. We'll give Don just a few seconds to come back. We'll recap a few things that we've talked about while he is coming back on. So we started today. We're talking about social media breaking news, and if you just tuned in, we talked about Meta is actually, let me take this off the screen because I'm actually going to use this as a recap. Let me say that. And by the way, y'all watching live, so you get the organic feedback from me. Let me take this off screen. All right, boom. All right, cool. So let me start this again. So what we're talking about today is we're talking about social media breaking news and some of the things we've talked about. Meta is now testing this in the UK where they're charging for an ad-free version of Instagram and Facebook. Yes, what does that mean? Again, like we always say, social media is not always going to be free. And this is one of those things that's coming again. You already got to pay for verifications. Now they're offering a free ad-free version of Instagram and TikTok out there for $14 a month. And what Don brought up some great points. He talked about Casey was like, what? So what Don even talked about was how do you do that? What is that going to mean? People are now just going to, instead of them paying for ads, they're just going to put it in their content. Doesn't matter. People don't want Meta to be forcing ads down their throat. They may be willing to pay for it. We also talked about Instagram is so desperate to make you pay for the use of its platform. It's testing a new service that boosts your profile because right now the verified only, blue check doesn't really boost your account, but they're saying that potentially may be the case because with X, which is also Twitter, they tell you like, hey, you pay for a premium membership, you're going to be forced to the front of the algorithm. Instagram is leaning into that. So, hey, you know what? It might be one of those things that you need to just keep in mind as we move forward. I just said hit that like button, y'all. Yes, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Put me on game, bro. Put me on game.
He's on fire.
Because I totally forget to say that. I'm focused, man. Stay focused. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Also, we talked about Meta is testing cross posting between Facebook and Threads. So that means that they're testing. Hold on. We got a message from Don Digital here. He says, I don't know what's happening. It kicked him out. Will it let you back? Will it let you back? So what I was saying is that Meta is now also testing between cross posting. So if you post on Facebook, it'll show it on Threads. They're going to continue to force Threads down your throat. They really need Threads to move. It's one of those things that with the new app, like Don talked about a little bit earlier, this may be one of their last opportunities to really like make a huge jump out there and build up the Threads platform. Also, we talked about Instagram testing new limits on how many hashtags you can post. Yes, the days of you posting those 20 and 30 hashtags, they're numbered. Okay, they are numbered. Yep.
Don't nobody want no baddie with no bad attitude.
And I don't want to hear no complaints about it. Okay, there's no complaints. Here's the deal. The reason why I say I want to hear no complaints is because you need to be focused more on your specific niches. Specifically for who you're trying to reach. If you're a content creator, when you hashtag content creator, hashtag Atlanta, hashtag YouTuber, or hashtag fitness professional, or whatever, cool. It should not be spammed with so many different hashtags just to show up in different places because people who use hashtags don't want to fall across your page, and if it's not really relative to what they're looking for, and also the algorithm, the AI needs to be smarter, and it's only going to get smarter with us being more niche down and specific with our hashtags. So that's one of the things they're testing. And if they're testing it, you already know that's going to come down the line. Also, most recently, we were just talking about Instagram is testing carousel posts within the real stream. Instagram is now putting those carousels in reels. Like, come on now. That's telling you, like we've been saying, carousels are the way to go right now. And I said it a couple of episodes ago, but you guys are watching, so you already know that, right? If you're watching for the first time, welcome. But if you're already watching, I know you already been taking your boy's advice and been putting carousel mixes. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I've been doing it too. You probably didn't notice it, but yeah, I have been putting some carousels out there, and it's on purpose. Can you explain what carousels are? Yes. So they are, think of it when you go on Instagram and you have to go to those posts in which you have to slide left to right. So in this example here, let me pull this up. Let me make it a little bit bigger screen. Hold on. Hopefully you can see this. If you see underneath the picture, right? Underneath the picture, there's like small two little dots. Well, depending on how many slides you have, you maybe have a few more dots, but you slide it left to right, right? So you slide it left to right. And so the whole point is there's different pieces of content underneath each slide. And so that's where the carousel is. It's a carousel around through those different posts. And so they can be either static pictures or they can be videos. So that's what a carousel is. And so when I say carousel post, it's more of a slide, however you want to describe it. And you can make a post with it, or you can make potentially going forward, even not when I say post, I'm meaning like the traditional square Instagram picture video type of thing. When I say post, just so you know, when I say reels, that's going to be more of the short form content in the reels format, which is more like the full screen video format. That's what that is. I don't know if Don is going to make it back, but we'll see in just a few seconds. Also, this last thing that we're going to talk about, and we'll see if Don makes it back for this last topic, was Meta is now prompting advertisers, people who use Meta, Facebook, um, Instagram, and potentially Threads. I don't know if there's ads on Threads yet, but people who are using ads for advertising to boost their posts and do posts on their desktop to avoid Apple fees. And if you know what I'm talking about, what that means is that this is something that's been going on for a while now. That Apple is going to, they already charge for in-app uses. I mean, on in-service uses within the Apple Store and things like that. Now they're going to potentially charge iOS users 30% service charge for boosted posts when they're purchased in the app. So again, if you are boosting your posts on the app from Instagram, right, or on an Apple phone, you will potentially be charged a 30% service charge.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Come on, man. I'm going to say that again. You can potentially get charged 30% service charge for a boosted post when they're purchased in the app, which means that is the reason that Meta is pushing people to, with the Apple phone, like me, like myself, to boost their ads and to do ads on a desktop. This is not going anywhere. It's not going to change. Apple is not going to change their thing. It's always been thing. It's not going to be an issue for Android users for what we know. Android users haven't had this problem for a while. But when it comes to potentially, Apple users, this is something you might want to start right away. Let's see here. If we're gonna get Don back on here. Trying to see. He says giving him an error message is hating on him when he tries to come back. I'm gonna close the browser and reopen it. What's the error message? All right, so we'll see here. If anybody got any questions, let me know. I'm gonna answer them while we wait for Don to see if he's gonna come back. Do you think you can grow faster on TikTok or Instagram? Good question. Good question. So I would say in general, you can probably grow faster on TikTok still. I don't know if that answer will always be the case. So if you're watching this right now, this is February 22nd, 2024. Um, as me being a person who's studied all of the platforms, I would say TikTok right now still potentially the fastest for you to grow. Just because of variety, I'm trying to say viral virality of it. I can't say it. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Like what? I'm having like a brain issue here. Like okay, my brain crashed. Having a viral, you can go viral faster on TikTok, right? All right. So with that being said, by the way, I hope you like my sound effects. That was a Windows crashing. Um, I think that with Instagram, you can probably grow faster just doing reels and carousels. That would be second fastest. Man, Twitter or X would probably be third. I would say YouTube fourth. That would just be my guess if I had to rank them. YouTube is very hard. YouTube is very hard to grow. Because the simple fact is like for people who everybody watches YouTube, everybody watch videos and get shared videos, but to get people to subscribe, a lot of times links are shared and then it requires people to then log in to subscribe. And a lot of people don't even remember their YouTube login. It's just a big issue with that. So that's just what I find. But yeah, I think it's faster if you want to do that. What else? Let's see. Kiki said I normally do carousels only with pictures, but I'm definitely gonna try it with videos too. Yes, please, please, please try. I'm telling you, those carousels are on the way, especially in the fitness industry. They are trending. It is popular right now. It's hot, like the hottest trend right now for the biggest fitness influencers are to put videos in carousels and put them in there back to back to back. So there any a lot of them put up to 10. Like 10 is the max. I see most people maxing out at 10 because the goal is to hold people to the longest. So that would be that. If there's any more questions, go ahead and drop them in here. If not, we may go ahead and close. Let me see if anybody got any questions on Instagram. If you guys are just catching the replay, I appreciate you. We'll give it another 30 seconds here. If you got any questions, drop them live in the chat for Q&A. The live show we've been doing. We talked about everything in social media, all the latest trends. Hopefully you got a good value. If you're just tuning in, definitely want to catch a replay. It's going to be live here on YouTube in just a few minutes. As soon as we end this, it ends literally like within this over 10 seconds later, the replay is up on YouTube. You can watch it from the beginning. I don't think we're gonna get Don back on here. He's having issues. But with that being said, please, 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 I need more topics to talk about, you guys. We need more topics. We need more things to talk about. So I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do me just a couple favors. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like this video, drop a comment, and send me a DM or drop in the comment section what you want me to talk about next for on different shows. Do you think IG will cost monthly here in the US? Yes, I do believe that it will be one of those that gets released here in the US. If I had to guess when, my guess would be later this year that we'll start seeing a ad-free version of Instagram here in the US. Probably about $14 to $17 a month. Ad-free Instagram monthly subscription is coming. And just remember, you heard it here first. Don't be like, yo, I'm surprised by it. The only people that surprised by it are people who are not watching the show. Because I'm going to give you the game before it even becomes the game. Oh, I'm dropping bars over here. Come on now.
He's on fire!
I'm giving the game before it becomes the game. Oh, I might have to use that. But yeah, yo, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a thing. Just like paying for blue checks is a thing and it's not ever going away. Do you know how many millions of extra millions of dollars got added to the bottom line of Facebook's their quarterly numbers and yearly numbers based on just that alone? Let me see. Facebook, I'm gonna look it up right now. Facebook profits from let's see, Meta verified. Let's see how much. So the Facebook profits alone, man, I'm gonna show it up on the screen. Let me just pull it up here, just so you guys can see. It ain't no cap. I don't cap. Ain't no cap. Let me see. Share screen, present, so you guys can even see what I'm saying. Boom. Share screen. All right. So this right here, you will see. Let me pull that big screen. You'll see here the monthly subscription for right now for Meta is $11.99 to $14.99 for mobile, which means could add 1.7 billion in yearly revenue for Facebook, and that was projected February of last year. That was projected. Right now, they're saying it may bring in up to 2 billion, and this was another article in Business Insider. So the whole point is billions of dollars are being added to the bottom line for Meta. And so you think that it's going anywhere? No. So if they added billions of dollars, let's say $2 billion is the number for Meta Verified for people paying $42 a month, what do you think they would add if they had an ad-free version of Instagram? Another 2 billion? Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And when it happens, it'll just change the landscape even more, where you have to be more strategic. And people will be forced putting their ads. And actually, here's the thing too. Here's the thing that if you really think about it, this is the gem that you guys are all watching can understand. It's going to benefit the content creators more than anything. Why you say is, well, why would it benefit the content creators, CJ, to have a ad-free Instagram? Because businesses and brands are going to need content creators to be able to sell products inside of the feed, inside of the content, even more than they do now, because people will have more people, millions of people will have the ad-free version, so you can't run ads to them. So how do you get to them? They're not going to just follow your business page if you're just flooding them with ads, because now these are the people who are paying not to see ads. So now you got to get creative, and you got to get them entertainment and education and value in order to sell the products in their content. So it's going to benefit content creators. Like, how do you sell? How do you get in front of audiences? How do you get that engagement up without having the ability to run ads to them normally, the normal traditional way? That's why it's going to benefit content creators. And that's why I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. All right. So with that being said, again, thank you guys for watching. I want you guys to do me a favor again, subscribe, please, 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 to the channel if you haven't already. Drop me a DM, drop me some comments. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. Tell somebody about it. Tell them to subscribe. We're on this journey together. We already over 1,000 subscribers. Next 2,000. I will see you guys later. Peace.